Hey folks and friends, welcome home. I'm Madison Canary, your sour beer queer, and I am here to dive into Upright Brewing's Fantasia. If you watched my Portland beer haul, probably the video before this, you are familiar with the fact that I made my way through about 4 breweries in the Pacific Northwest, specifically in the city of Portland. I love it up there. I love the vibe. I love the people. And as I have grown in my love of sour beer, Portland has really turned into my mecca. They got a lot of things right up there. And one thing they got right is how they brew their sour beer. Upright Brewing was no exception. They have a really cool kind of down below in the basement of a bank vibe going on. As you walk down the stairs, which feels a little ominous, you then arrive in this really nice open warehouse space. Over to the right is all of the brewing. So over to the right is the big barrels and where they do all their brewing. Over to the left is a little kind of just like tasting room bar vibe going on. Now we went in the midst of COVID-19. So technically we were not allowed to do any tastings. Technically we were not allowed to take our mask off. Technically we were not allowed to do a lot of things, and there definitely was not a lot happening down there. The guy there was kind enough, because it was just myself and Garrett, to let us kind of step to the side, take off our mask, and do a couple tastings. Obviously no one else was there, and he kind of stayed away, socially distanced from us, so we kept it all safe. But through doing those tastings, we got to chat with him a little bit. He had a nice knowledge of sour beer, of Portland. He had a good vibe going on, and through chatting with him, we landed on 2 beers. So we landed on the Fantasia, which we got to sample because it was on draft, and then we landed on the Barm House, which was bottled, so we did not get to sample, and I'm really excited to try that one. But today we're driving into the Fantasia. Now, usually y'all know that I love to open the can and do the tasting right here on camera. Because I shipped this down utilizing my brother to do free shipping, it was not refrigerated. So by the time it got here, I was really nervous that I was just shipped a bunch of beer and a bunch of money that I couldn't do anything with. So I opened up this beer a little earlier today so that I could make sure that it was something that was usable, something that I could actually give a valid taste test off of. I didn't want to open it on camera and have it be rotten and bad and all that jazz. So just having that in mind, this was refrigerated, put into a crowler, shipped for 4 days, not refrigerated, brought to me re-refrigerated. I definitely taste the difference, but I also feel like I can still give you guys a really good review and a really good experience of what it's like to drink this beer. So let's dive in. So this is Upright Brewing. It was a crowler filled on location of their Fantasia. So Fantasia is 6.5%, and it really stuck out to me. The moment that I tasted it, I actually didn't know that it was stone fruit based. So it's peaches and nectarines, but as soon as I picked it and he told me that, I wasn't surprised. I tend to be a real big fan of the stone fruit. So all I know about this is that it's a nice basic sour ale. I know that they do have metal kettle sours there. I believe this one is barrel aged. I believe this one is aged in barrels, not in the metal. So you really taste it, in my opinion, in this beer. Even though I opened it already, it still has that little bit of bubble to it. It still has that little bit of carbonation to it. The nose is all stone fruit. So the nose is all peach. It is that peachiness that isn't sweet. It's not a sugary peach. It's just a nice, strong peach scent. The color to me is that like perfect sour beer color. It's like a dark caramel, which I just think is delectable. And let's give it a taste. Still delicious. So what I love and what surprises me about this beer is that it is actually a little bit syrupy. And again, I like the stone fruit, and stone fruit has a viscous quality to it. So the actual fruit of a peach is going to have some serious depth, some serious viscosity. To me, peach has that thickness, peach has that juiciness, and this has that quality. It has that thick juiciness to it. So after greeting you with a solid peachy thickness, it then finishes in just like a real, I was gonna say easy, but I think easy is a relative term, sexually and beer wise. Easy is a relative term. And to me, this tastes really easy because I like a strong kick. I like a good sour. So because I like that good sour, I would call this a nice easy finish. But what that finish is just a strong sour finish. It definitely hits you. You definitely get that sour. It's almost effervescent at the end, which is perfect for me. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna keep on going. I'm definitely gonna finish this crowler. On draft, it was amazing. In glass, it is still wonderful, even after the temperature differential. So I definitely recommend this beer. I love it. I enjoy it. Upright really knows what they are doing. In my opinion, I tried about 6 beers when I was there. All of them were delicious. Different levels of sour. Some of them were a little more approachable, which brings us to the friendliness scale. Some of them were not. This beer, I would not call approachable. This beer on the friendliness scale, I don't know, I'm gonna put it, it's not quite cold shoulder. I'm gonna say it's playing hard to get. No, not quite cold shoulder. I'm gonna say it's resting bitch face. You definitely have to look at it. You definitely have to think about it. If someone says to you, I don't like sour beer, then their first sip might not be what changes them. Their 6th sip will be what changes them. So maybe when you greet it at first, it's not the friendliest beer you've ever had, but it is definitely a quickly acquired taste. So I would recommend handing it around. I'd recommend giving it to anybody that says they don't like sour beer. And I definitely would recommend heading over to Upright Brewing and getting yourself a crowler, a bottle, a draft, anything you can. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please do subscribe to my channel. I do beer reviews every Tuesday and Friday, and lately I've been releasing them even more than that. You can also head over to Instagram, where I am the Sour Beer Queer, and that is a perfect place to give me your recommendations, your ideas, and to just be part of the conversation. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your day.